Hi guys, and welcome to the Monday Chill Out Chat. It is myself, and that is Connor, and that is at Graded Groudon with
Tom, Bayset Tom. Go follow me on Instagram because I need followers because I have significantly less than Connor.
Yes, we're trying to get to 1,000 followers as quick as possible, so please do go over there. It's definitely worth it. It's quality content because it's a lot of stuff.
And it's the same content that we put on your Instagram because I take all the photos.
People don't need to know that. Anyway, today, as you've probably seen by the title, we are going to talk about the differences between investing or, buying preferentially booster boxes against PSA cards, against raw mint cards, let's say, and which one you should be putting your money into. Full disclaimer, we are Graded Gem, and we do grade cards for a lot of people, and also my preference as a collector, as you can see behind us, is PSA cards. I don't hold a lot of sealed stuff. I don't hold loads of booster boxes. So please, at the end of this video, if you disagree with everything I say, get into those comments and shout at me. We're quite happy for you to do that. But let's play a little devil's advocate, I guess. So let's pretend 4 or 5 years ago when I was starting to get my collection, I went, no, I don't want PSA cards. I don't want to grade cards. And instead, I'm going to put every penny I earn from Sainsbury's back then into booster boxes.
I would have opened them all up.
Right, let's pretend you didn't do that.
Yeah.
So instead of my Neo Destiny first editions,
Yep.
PSA 10s and my Jungle Nose symbol and, the Team Rocket and Gym Heroes, and the list goes on. It's quite big, actually. Basically, let's pretend I bought a booster box of each of those instead.
Yeah. That would be a different way of doing it. And it would arguably be a cooler shelf behind us.
See, that's interesting. Even just that point.
Yeah.
Why do you think it would be cooler?
Just because it must be like the inner gambling addict that I think everybody feels.
Okay. Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, you could have a £5,000 card, but you might have three £3,000 cards in there, and it's all a secret.
So it's like that. Like you could have an error box, or potentially in that box is the best pulls you've ever seen. And, they could all be gem mint worthy, let's say. So, I mean, you would say it's almost on the premise of that the cards are gem mint 10 and they're better.
Yeah, you'd expect every single card in a factory sealed, fresh looking, clean cornered booster box to be a gem mint 10 worthy. Or like, if you're not thinking about the PSA values of things, you'd expect them to be perfect condition cards.
Yeah. I mean,
fresh. Booster fresh cards.
So even if you didn't care about PSA grading, you would just love the fact that you had them and you knew that they'd come out of booster box fresh and beautiful.
Exactly, and I think the thing, like, when I look at a booster box as well, like, you got me into this with the Harry Potter booster box. Yeah. It's like, I want to check if every edge is really clean, and I want to make sure that the seal, the factory seal, is really crisp. And, like, it's a weird thing, because I'd never looked at that before, looking at a sealed booster box, because usually we get booster boxes of newer stuff, and I'm just like, rip it open, packs everywhere, whoa, cards! And just to see what we get for PSA grading, because obviously that is where our heart is.
Yeah.
But when you look at those classic ones, you're like, I don't want to break that seal.
No, I mean, we saw that on live streams, didn't we? Where Pope Rev is like, he's shaking. I mean, there's nothing against Pope Rev. I think we all would be, especially on a base set first edition box.
I'd be vibrating that hard, like everything would break.
Yeah.
The bench, the room.
Yeah. But like, I mean, he had an obligation to open that box, but there must have been part of him that was like, I don't really want to. Because they're such rare collectibles. Maybe the fact that also they don't have a population report.
Yeah, 100%. That is a big thing. Like, you can look at your PSA cards and you go, I know there's exactly 93 of this card.
Is that an impression of me?
Yeah. But that's exactly what you do all the time. Yeah. But if you've got a booster box, you could be like, well, I don't know anyone else with this. And there's no way I can prove anybody else has this. I can search eBay. I can just do a Google search on forums. Nobody owns this booster box that I can find. So, to me, it's one of a kind.
Yeah. So Neo Destiny first. I would say that Neo Destiny first because there was quite a few printed, but not in comparison to Jungle, Fossil, Team Rocket, blah blah blah, and Base, which printed to Oblivion. There wasn't that as many. So I guess for Neo Destiny, if you had a first edition box, you're right. There wouldn't be a lot of people with them. You wouldn't know anyone personally who had one. Like in the Instagram community, maybe you'd know someone. But again, those are like the top tier collectors.
Yeah,
who have those.
If you've got, imagine there was 10,000 Shining Charizards ever made.
Yeah.
There's obviously less than that in boxes.
Yeah.
Because the chance of getting one isn't one per box.
No.
So there's definitely less boxes than there is any variant of any card, well, besides like commons, like of the cool cards, the secret rares especially. So I think that is like a big part of the appeal. You're like, I've got something rare.
Is there a chance? I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Guys, please shout at me. But is there a chance that there's just a guy with a big warehouse who has, let's say, hundreds, not hundreds, let's say like 50 of each first edition one, and every year he goes, I will sell one of each?
There's definitely a chance.
Yeah.
But exactly the same vein, who knows, people haven't opened the booster boxes and they've just got card savers full of Shining Charizard first editions.
Yeah.
Or they've got card saver, like massive stacks of these card savers of all the Shinings, or all of, what's another kind of cool card that you collect?
Like gold stars?
Gold stars.
Yeah,
I mean, we've already seen before.
Yeah.
Someone's got lots of those.
Yeah, yeah.
We know that happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there might be someone with a warehouse full of base set first edition boxes, and if so,
contact us.
Let me know. Let me know where you live. Let me know where that warehouse
contact
is.
us.
Because we want to do a box break of your warehouse. Not just of the box, still all the boost boxes. But so we know that it happens in the card community, and we can guess that someone's got some booster boxes somewhere.
Yeah. But overall, we're probably pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because I mean, in general, like if your box was once worth $600 and now it's worth $100,000, you probably would have put it on the market some point. Like you would have gone, oh, my sell point is 10, my sell point is 50. Like you would eventually have put it out there. So maybe there's the other opinion, which is there's actually a lot less of these available. Than people might think. Especially
for the early stuff, because realistically, the early Pokemon stuff, WotC, like Pokemon was starting to get big.
Yeah.
But I mean, Pokemon's got bigger and bigger and bigger. But who in their like sane, I'm going to invest in this mind would go, I'm going to keep loads of booster boxes. These things that aren't readily available to the public to buy booster boxes of. You can't just go onto Pokemon.com, especially not in like the late 90s, early 2000s, and just order booster boxes by the dozen. Like you would have had to have been in retail, or some kind. You would have business, exactly. But like you could have easily gone and bought packs, like loads and loads of packs. But at the time, you're spending however much money on a booster box. You're not going to go, I'm going to stockpile loads of these, especially when it's a new craze.
Exactly. Well, I was actually about to bring up, how many card games was there out when we were kids?
So many.
Like, I mean, Digimon, I know, is kind of there.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been out for about 1 million years.
Yeah, but like, they were never, like, and they faded away.
Yeah.
But Pokemon always kind of stayed. But if you're an investor, maybe you think, oh, Pokemon will eventually fade away. So why would you keep all the booster boxes that eventually could be worth it?
Yeah, I think the only one really that was set, like going apart from that trend, was probably Magic.
Yeah,
because Magic was expensive even when I was like born.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this card's worth £500, and you're like, what? What? I'm sorry. Like I remember being like early at school, and people were like, gotta protect my Magic cards, make sure they're not get stolen. Whereas Pokemon cards, you'd be like, I've got this Charizard, can I trade it for your Caterpie? And people would. Like, because it was a lot more common. No, but like, maybe that's that extreme. I like to exaggerate. But people would do like crazy trades with Pokemon cards. Whereas
they would.
I had a few friends at school that would not let anybody touch their Magic cards.
No,
so like, it was still quite a small thing when we were young. And when I was in primary school, like up until I was about 10, that would have been like early 2000s. So that would have been when WotC was already like nearly out of this picture.
Yeah. Well, I've said this before. Like, I don't have as much affinity with base because I think we were just a couple of years past that. Like, I have more affinity with like Team Rocket. Team Rocket was my first ever set we ever bought. Like, and that's because we're probably just a bit after. I
remember opening a little bit of base because I found like 2 or 3 packs in Woolworths. That's how long it's been. Woolworths is now closed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is the first one. I haven't been able to get these before. But other than that, it was like, no, not getting
the other stuff.
Yeah.
I remember actually a Neo Discovery card, a kid traded me, and then he laughed in my face and told me it was fake. Because like he thought, like, because the Neo cards, when they came out, he thought they were fake. That's how much like some collectors back then didn't know about the hobby.
Yeah, I think we've probably only met a couple of people that were old enough to invest.
Yeah.
For one thing, like, because it was a kid's game, and 2, like, kept onto it, like didn't just sell when it started to go, because it started to go with the Pokemon Go craze, like massively, didn't it?
Yeah.
All the prices, so they didn't just get rid of it. And that was when we went and saw all of the base set cards.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, I collected the unlimited ones, the first edition ones. I collected any errors. And they were like, I specifically went around the country to find these weird little niche shops, and that's the point.
Yeah.
That was just for cards.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that for booster boxes?
Well, you're not, are you? In general, especially back then when you're kids. Like, we thought we were getting these grand collections, which looked like child's play, quite literally.
Yeah.
Nowadays. It's interesting. So maybe there is a lot less of base set first edition. Is there, like, could you imagine, let's just say there was a pop report and it was like 5 left in the world?
I think that would make me cry. Because I know I'd never be able to open one.
But
even a pack.
Is the argument, like the dodo, like the last one was killed. The guy who killed that didn't know that. Like, the person to open up the last base set first isn't going to know. Cause
maybe it happened.
Could do.
Pokerev opened. You heard it here first, guys. The last ever base set first edition booster box. But that is what defines that value, because you can't put a number on that rarity.
Yeah.
It's like these little art pieces that have been done by some crazy kind of French artist in the 1800s. You don't know if there's one copy of that that's left perfect, or all 3 that he originally made. You don't know.
Yeah.
But you just got to go on, well, there might only be 1 left.
Yeah.
Whereas the PSA card, you're always like, well, I know there's 50.
Yeah. Which obviously is a small
200.
number, but it's not, you don't know with the booster boxes, do you?
Yeah.
A little bit of knowledge out there, but not loads. Probably should we move on to raw cards a bit?
Yeah, so do you want to do raw cards versus booster boxes first, or raw cards versus PSA cards?
I think because we are graded Gen PSA cards, let's do it against PSA
okay,
cards.
So my argument would be that raw cards, I know that I haven't got a guaranteed value, but they feel nicer in the hand.
Wow, okay, yeah, that's fair enough. So you, like, because you can touch the card, you feel like you're like more engaged with it, I guess.
Yeah, there's something really odd about PSA cards. If I grab one, for example, my Build-A-Bear Pikachu, I love that this is a 10. I love that it states there, this is a 10. You can go check it out online, bang in, and I also like that it's protected. I can like drop this and it'll be fine. What I don't like is I can't touch my card anymore. Like, there is a barrier between me and the card that I own.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, the product is now the barrier.
Yeah.
But there is that part of me that goes, kind of wish I also had one that I could hold as well. So
would you suggest maybe... So maybe you could have a Pikachu binder. So you like Pikachu, don't you? So you could have a Pikachu binder, and you could have your Pikachu PSA collection.
Yeah.
But maybe if you wanted to go all out, maybe you should just go raw and have an awesome collection. And then who cares if it's a 10 or not? Like, if you're only showing your friends or you're showing Instagram or that sort of thing, who cares what the grade is? Because you're keeping them forever anyway. Yeah,
I mean, I could do that. But what I'd specifically do is I'd have my PSA collection where it's all like, cool grades, 10s and 9s. And for my raw cards, I just really wouldn't care about the condition as much. But that's like from the PSA side of things. But I just like cards that I can hold, maybe play with. I have like a mad Pikachu deck that is definitely not tournament legal, but it's my Pikachu deck, so whatever.
Well, as you know, I've got like some first edition WotC binders upstairs.
Charizards.
No,
not Charizards.
WotC binders upstairs. Like a lot of the non-holo sets. So back in the day when I started, I bought up first edition sets, got the holos graded, and forgot about the non-holos. But there are times when I go and pack my submission, I like to just flick through them. Yeah. Like, I get that.
We've spent hours looking through your cards that probably wouldn't even get like PSA 6 and 7s.
Yeah.
But they're cool.
Yeah. And
they're really cool.
Especially nowadays, like, to get first edition WotC sets, even in kind of okay condition, it's difficult and it's expensive for not no reason, but like, you can still enjoy just flicking through them and seeing the artworks. Like, we've got EX Dragon upstairs, I think. It's such an odd set, like, and you wouldn't see those uncommons and commons otherwise.
Because no one's grading them.
No,
not en masse.
There's no need to, is there? Like, why would you?
If realistically, say, do you know what? When I was a kid, there was this card that meant the world to me. It was there when I had like a major operation or something, and it was a base set first edition Charizard. Yeah, I can either go and save up £50,000 to buy one. Yeah, or I can buy one that's wrecked. Yeah. But it's still there, and I've got it for like 20 quid.
Yeah, well, 20 quid might be a slight exaggeration.
For like a PSA 1, super shredded.
Let's say like a couple of £100.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like, there's a massive difference.
Huge. And it is still the same card.
Oh, you wouldn't even have to go first edition.
No.
If you, like, maybe it weren't a first edition, so like maybe we get the extremes a little bit out. So it's like between $5,000 and under 100. Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
like easily under 100 for a card that still actually looks like the Charizard.
The Charizard that you remember when you grew up with. So like it doesn't really matter to you like what the condition is. It's just the fact that you feel happier having the card, I guess, because it brings back good memories.
Yeah, but now let's try and move that to investing in the raw cards.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was our personal investment.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the money side of raw cards, do you think it's worth, or how would we kind of argue that it's worth holding on to raw cards that are perfect condition, that would probably get a 9 and more likely a 10, but possibly at lowest a 9?
If they're mint,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like, what would we, how would we say, or how would we argue? Obviously, we'd
argue get them graded.
Yeah, we'd send it to PSA.
Okay, yeah.
But what would be the devil's advocate argument there for, do you know what? Keep them like that. I think one of them for me is the thing that you said earlier, which is the pop report.
Yeah,
I've got a binder of first edition Neo, all of the Neos. Yeah. All of the first editions. I've got multiple copies of them.
Yeah.
I don't want to send them off because I don't want to increase every Shining population first edition by 3.
Yeah.
Because I think they're all 10s.
Yeah. But like, as long as you're happy and you've got the knowledge that they're 10s, that's okay.
Yeah, but I'm investing in this.
Yeah,
because I'm not increasing the pop set.
Is there an argument as well, like you don't have to... So, for instance, if you've got those, you'd have to pay a decent amount of money to get them graded, but instead you can go and get Neo Revelations first edition mint.
Exactly. You can get a much bigger collection.
If you're just talking pure quantity of cards.
Yeah.
There's no... like, you would never have that definitive, that's that grade, but you're right, you could get more cards. You could own more cards.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have to be spending on grading, either with us or with PSA or with whomever. You wouldn't have that, that outlay, and you could just spend it directly on cards.
And I think another thing that you could do with raw cards, which you couldn't do as easily with PSA cards, is store them.
Yeah.
Storing PSA cards, as everybody knows who owns PSA cards, either 1, costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Or 2, is you don't have them on show.
Yeah.
And 3, it's just physically a lot of space.
I would say, especially from a personal point of view, like if you're a personal luckily like all this stuff is like covered under like business insurance. But if you're a personal coverage, like, and you had a collection that was worth 50 grand, and you're just sticking that in your house, like no one's gonna walk in your house and know there were Pokemon cards, right? But there have been stories in the past on Instagram where people have shown where they've lived on PayPal and stuff, and they've gone to the house and they've been nicked. Like, that is definitely a worry, surely, for especially like the top collectors.
Yeah, because you can't explain that really to an insurance company.
No,
like, over the phone. Oh, I need to put an extra £50,000 on my contents insurance. Why? Because I've got a Charizard card. They'd be like, what?
There are specialists, especially in the US.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're with like your normal house insurance company, or if you're with your bank, they'll be like, excuse me.
And then how would you prove that to them that, it's lost or it's stolen or whatever, like, or it even had that value?
Yeah.
Because you can't, like, claim on insurance if it didn't have that value. You can't.
Yeah, like, eBay sold listings don't exist for half of those cards as well.
It's very true. I mean,
you can go on PokemonPrice.com, but even then, it's not going to show you the, like,
the true value.
I can't remember the name of the auction site. My brain's gone. It's got P in it. It's
PWCC.
PWCC.
There you go.
You're not going to see that data.
No.
Of, that sold for $56,000.
Yeah, and how the market's moving at the moment, like some cards haven't sold publicly for 2 years, like, so you could have that at $450 and it's now worth $5.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So let's do a quick worst or like lowest if we're going to talk financial, lowest investment.
Yeah.
The middle. Yeah. And the highest investment. Let's put them in an order. So we've got raw cards.
Yeah.
We've got booster boxes, factory sealed booster boxes, and we've got PSA cards.
Yeah. Okay.
Where would you imagine that graded gem didn't exist?
Yeah. Okay. I'm imagining. I'm trying to be as non-biased as possible.
And we've got back in 2015. Yeah. And also now. Yeah. Different ones. We've got 10 grand.
Okay.
Where do you put that money?
So this is going to be an interesting answer. Like, I think factually now, if you're just going on pure financial terms, it would have been the best option to buy booster boxes, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you could have bought base set booster boxes.
Yeah, base set.
And you couldn't now.
No, like if you were just going pure financial terms, you probably should have bought a Neo Destiny First Edition box. You probably should have bought your Jungle first. Like, you probably should have done that.
Skyridge,
exactly.
Expedition.
And they were expensive back then for the market, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they were overpriced compared to the cards.
Yeah, but, if you went now, look at them. I mean, they basically have the price of the whole holo set PSA 10 and then a premium.
Yeah.
Which, if you're just talking about the pure value of the cards, doesn't make sense. But there's other value adds which we've spoken about, on the video already.
Having a really cool set piece.
Exactly. That's probably, maybe.
For the YouTubers that can afford it, it's definitely part of the thing. Hey, look at me. I've got a base of first edition box behind me.
So, I mean, how we were talking about how people are opening the booster boxes.
Yeah.
Would we argue as well, like, the whole YouTube phenomenon? Like, a lot of people who can, because they're YouTubers who are wealthy, not like us, basically...
We make no money from YouTube.
We make none. But, like, people who are from YouTube are basically just selling ad space.
Yeah.
They can buy the booster box and then sell more ad space on that booster box and open it. Is that an argument? Is that why that's inflating?
100%. So if you look at someone like Unlisted Leaf or Leon Hart, they are making money. Maybe not at the moment because of the whole COVID-19 ad apocalypse again. But, like, realistically, when they're opening a base set first edition box, or they're opening a Neo box, or a Skyridge box, or a Black Triangle era booster pack box, they're going to make so much advertising. Like, they're going to make ad rev. Yeah. They're going to make so much ad revenue, but they're also going to grow their channels to the point where, oh, wow, they've just gained 50k subscribers. Yeah. They've just gained so much watch time. They've gained so many views on their channel. They've now got, like, 50 million more views on their channel. What has happened? Ads, like, people doing sponsorships and stuff, they're going to go, we're going to put ads on them.
So there you go. So that pushes the prices of boxes up, because that means they're like, well, that was a success, right?
Yeah.
So they'll be like, right, I want more. You can't do that with PSA cards.
No.
Like, otherwise we'd have a much bigger channel.
We'd have more than 50 subs.
Yeah, but like, you can't do that with PSA cards. You can't. Like, you can to a point. There are some really successful PSA YouTube channels out there. But then, two people you spoke about there, Leon Hart and Listed Leaf, Max Mofo, isn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring him up because he's a psychopath, but we love him.
But, like, they're more about the raw cards, they're more about the booster boxes, and they're more about that side of the hobby.
And openings, just opening stuff and just seeing what you get.
Exactly. So
it is the gambling thing.
It is massively, yeah.
Like, oh, I wonder what I'll get. I have no idea. Let's open something. Oh, we got nothing.
Yeah. And
we got a sick pull.
If you've just got the sealed box sitting there, that's not going to keep your users entertained. No. Or your audience. You can't just be like, I got this. That's the end of the video. Like, you can't do that. You have to open it up, and you've just spent $5,000 on the damn thing, and you have to go and get another one for 10 next time.
So we're saying 5 years ago,
yes,
that was the best investment.
Yeah, factually.
What was the middle?
PSA. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. I think if you bought, like, I mean, the argument would be if you bought loads of mint cards back then and then got on PSA now, you'd be better off. Yeah. Sure. But like, if you bought mint sets and then graded them at the time, and grew with the hobby, I would suggest you're going to grow better. Because if you bought mint sets back then, the prices would grow, so you'd have less. You'd be buying less every time. Yeah,
you'd be turning over more.
Yeah, exactly. So you wouldn't have those cards anymore, not all the time. Yeah. Whereas with PSA, like, I've never sold a collection piece, which I think is the best way to do it, because you're like, if I can afford to keep this, then you're not going to lose it. And I think it grows. Like, it's a shame for me to say that, because, like, I should have bought booster boxes, sure. Like, who wouldn't? But
so what about now? This is a loaded one because we are graded gems, so feel free to just ignore everything we're about to say, because we're probably going to say PSA cards.
These are just opinions. Like, don't, no one.
Okay, let's change it from when we're talking about raw cards, just because we're in the current climate where raw cards for old sets are practically unobtainable anyway.
Yeah.
At least in, like, Gem Mint 10 condition. Maybe cracked 9s condition, but not, like, in they've never been graded. Let's talk about if we're talking about new cards.
Right, so that's
so. Would you invest in new cards or PSA cards?
So, like,
would
can
you
I explain?
buy them yourself? Yeah, of course.
Like, so Alpha Investments, like, he bought a load of Pokemon collection boxes. Really good YouTuber. I got big into him, and I just couldn't stop watching him. Basically, he bought them, and they didn't do anything. Like, he explained the process. This promo is worth this much. The packs are worth this much. Yeah. And if it increases by 20-30%, it's a lot. He's a lot more financial than this channel. Then he should make a big return. The cards just didn't do it. Like the collection boxes didn't do it.
Yeah.
They didn't increase in value the way he thought they would. Mainly because maybe a load of the promos were graded or whatever.
Yeah.
And now he just had a load of boxes that he couldn't sell for any higher. But devil's advocate to that, if you had, I think the other problem is like they print the booster boxes in the US for 2 years.
Yeah, but I mean there are mini sets. Look at Hidden Fates.
So the argument would be that you'd only buy sealed mini sets like Hidden Fates, Detective Pikachu, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. One of the last comments I've got on booster boxes, I've just had this thought. I've had this thought on why they're so expensive.
Yeah.
And it like sums up all of the stuff we've talked about. Is a PSA card isn't a consumable. A booster box is a consumable. You've opened it, that's it. It's done.
Yeah.
It's gone.
That's a good point, actually. Really good point.
Whereas the PSA cards are always going to go up in pop. They're never going to go down in pop. That's not how numbers work.
No.
Whereas booster boxes, they only go down in population.
Yeah.
Every one that's opened is another one that doesn't exist anymore.
So there's an additional premium every single one that's opened.
Yeah.
So if you were watching that base set first edition box opening and you had one,
It's just gone up in value.
It just went up in value. And I guess, yeah, so if you've been watching all these YouTubers and you've been sitting on like a set of one of each,
Yeah.
you'd be very happy. The next
You'd be
last
like,
5 years.
yeah, let's see some Neo first opening on YouTube soon.
Yeah, maybe you send a message to them. Oh yeah, do you want to open that box? I mean,
Yeah, I'll buy 2 packs.
yeah,
Because 2 packs is $1,000, but you're gonna bump my booster box up by 3.
that's an interesting
Sneaky.
sneaky indeed.
I like it. I need to buy some booster boxes. In the past, when I could afford them, yeah. Back when they weren't like hundreds of thousands of pounds.
But we would probably say not to buy to him. Maybe you could keep one booster box of modern set,
Yeah.
but we probably wouldn't say go buy cases of them.
Yeah, I think unless you're just going to open them. I think if we, on our backdrop, had like maybe a Hidden Fates promo and a Detective Pikachu promo and maybe one of each of the Sun and Moon booster boxes and the new Sun and Shield booster boxes, that'd look cool as just a set piece, and it'd look cool if you had like what we've got here, which is like a Pokemon display.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know.
There's a good argument to be had, like maybe because I mean they only release 4 sets a year, right?
Mini sets.
Yeah.
Mini sets, yeah.
No, not mini sets included, like 4.
Just main sets, yeah.
Yeah. So main sets, 4 sets, main sets. So that's what, £90 or $80 if you're in the US.
Yeah, because it's so much cheaper.
So that's like one every 3 months, 90 quid. That's 30 quid a month. So you could have, like you just said, you could have had now, because Sun and Moon has obviously ended, you could have had one of each booster box.
Which is practically the same as buying one PSA card. One average valued PSA card is about £30
a month, yeah.
a month. So if you buy one a month, or you can buy one booster box every 3. Yep.
And that'd look cool, wouldn't it, to have all the Sun and Moon in one go? And I mean, eventually in 2-3 years' time, when people come back to Sun and Moon and they're like, I want this GX,
Yeah.
then surely overall the whole lot should rise as well.
Yeah, so are we saying it goes back in 2015? It goes booster boxes,
Yeah,
and then it goes cards, PSA cards,
yeah,
and then it goes raw cards.
yeah,
And then for 2020,
yeah,
are we going to say PSA cards?
yeah, probably,
top.
yeah.
And then would you go raw cards or booster boxes as the middle one? Because personally, I think booster boxes are just insanely expensive.
Yeah.
Maybe not insanely, because I can see the reasons.
If you're a millionaire and you have the money to invest in booster boxes, like you said, they're only going to go down, sure. But I think for the general collector, yeah, yeah. I think PSA cards as well, like because of where the market is now, I think it's concrete now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I don't think PSA, like if PSA cards dropped by a certain amount, like, but they're not going to be worth nothing. There's enough people engaged. There's enough collectors.
Yeah.
Like, if Shiny Charizard dropped to $1,000, I would buy them, and I'm sure there are loads of other people like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna turn into nothing. Whereas that was always the worry. That's why you did the booster boxes.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Pokemon is the biggest media franchise in the world. It's worth nearly $100 billion. Only like 20 of that or something comes from the games. Like, so much of it comes from TCG, and that's just with their like direct sales and revenue. Like, that's not even including the crazy costs of the stuff that the hobbyists are doing.
Yeah, because it's aftermarket, isn't it?
Yeah.
They don't count
so,
any of that.
like, I don't think the Pokemon fandom's going to go down.
No.
Therefore, I don't think the Pokemon hobby fandom's going to go down. If anything, the nerds at school that were playing this game, like us, we're getting older.
Yeah.
We're getting better jobs.
Yeah.
Like, we are, because we were probably the ones that went and got, like, weird first-class degrees in biomedical engineering to try and create a real-life Pokemon and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be more well-paid.
But they were the clever kids at school, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your point, yeah.
So, maybe now they're on £100,000 a year. They've got like some crazy lab job or something. So 20 grand for some Pokemon stuff in a year. Do you know what? I've had a really good year. I'm gonna splurge on one of my favorite things. Nostalgia is worth more than anything else in the world. Definitely worth more than money to most people, like definitely myself included.
Yeah.
I'd rather have something cool that I could never have had as a kid. I'm happy to spend that now.
Yeah. No.
So I'm going to buy a booster box.
And if that trend continues, then the argument is like,
or PSA card.
It's not like people are going to fall out of love with Pokemon. Like if there's times where the times are hard, you need to sell something, sure.
Yeah.
But in general, like there's always going to be a buyer there.
Yeah, 100%. We found that like some of the weird stuff that goes up for sale on eBay, like weird stuff, and it's gone.
Yeah. There's always a buyer for it. There's always someone who wants to add it to their collection, because they personally feel engaged with it, involved with it.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a really strange video. Like, 'cause we haven't kind of kept to a point at all throughout this video. So sorry if we've rambled. That's probably me throwing Connor off topic as much as humanly possible. It's basically my job. But I think it's been, to me personally, this out of the three that we've done so far, this has probably been the most kind of educational for me.
Yeah.
Because obviously I wasn't in the scene 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't really know as much about the price and stuff. I just remember 5 years ago I bought a booster box of I can't even remember. I bought it with another one of our friends from school, and we opened it, and one of the cards was it was a Lily, I think, or something, or it was one of the female full art trainers, and it was worth like £60, and we bought the booster box for like £80, and we were like, what? That's nearly paid for the box.
Straight away, yeah.
And that was raw.
Yeah.
Like, that's nearly paid for the box. Oh, wicked. So I've got like all these cards. I've got like 36 packs worth of cards, and I've paid for it by selling one of them.
Yeah.
So other than that, I didn't know anything about this. So it's been like really good for me to kind of explore that topic.
Yeah, and for me to basically admit I should have bought booster boxes.
Yeah, I love it when you admit you were wrong.
Yeah.
But no, I think for anybody in the chat, or like the description, the comments, whatever, I'm so used to streaming now. I think we definitely want to hear your thoughts on this topic more than even the other two, because the Charizard tax was something that kind of we already decided.
Yeah, it's fact.
Like, we already decided these are some examples.
Yeah.
Like, we came in with facts and figures and resources. And the video before that, we were like, prices are going up. You can't deny it.
Yeah.
Whereas this is kind of definitely
more opinionated.
Yeah. I mean, you can't be wrong and you can't be right.
No, you can't be wrong, and that's quite important, actually. Like, raw card collectors could come in and fill our comment section with, we disagree with you entirely.
Also, send us photos. Tag us on Instagram with your photos of that stuff, because we will share every single one, because we love seeing that stuff.
Yeah, we do.
But yeah, people, that's the thing. People might be like, you're totally off the mark.
Or even so, like, I've kind of admitted booster boxes were better to buy in 2015. There might be PSA card. There's loads of PSA card enthusiasts who will be like, well, actually, when you balance it up, maybe that it's not. Maybe PSA cards is the way to go. So I think it'd be interesting to hear everyone's thoughts. And hopefully we haven't rambled too much. Hopefully it was
definitely
useful
rambled
ramble.
Too much.
Useful ramble, though.
At least educational. Not educationally. What am I on about? Entertainment-wise.
Entertainment-wise.
The education's not there on this one.
No.
At all.
No, and that's because I didn't buy booster boxes.
Yeah.
You didn't. I
bought one and opened it.
Yeah.
I didn't want an old one.
I don't have loads of raw cards. You don't. Like,
yeah.
Our knowledge base is PSA.
Yeah, well, like, I think that's the best type of video.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll leave it.
Yeah, that is where we'll leave it.
Remember to hit that like button, guys. Also subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because YouTube is not going to let you know if you just subscribe. Leave a comment. Tag us with your cool photos of your collection, your booster boxes, your raw cards, or your PSA cards over at Instagram, Base at Tom, Graded Groudon, Graded Gem. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.